Welcome to the Strategy with Jason podcast. Tune in for everything you need to know to stay in the know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, what's going on, Podcast Nation? It is Jason Harris here, and thank you for joining me on another episode of The Drive, Las Vegas edition. I am here with the one, the only, the oh-so-famous Mr. Russell Hill.
Please, thank you so much, Jason.
Man? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm awesome, brother. Look, beautiful day. We're in Vegas. And you know that old adage that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Trust me, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Well,
No.
It's being recorded
Yeah,
right
here,
now, so
there you go,
actually,
right?
It can't be.
Perfect. Good stuff, man.
Hey, for everybody that's listening, watching right now, Russell, and maybe don't know who you are and how you got started in the business, I always like to kick off these podcasts with a little origin story because I'm always super fascinated.
Origin.
So what is the origin story of Russell getting into the car
Okay,
business?
here it is. Okay, it all started in 1968 when Hot Wheels were first introduced. Seriously, I'm serious. That's when it really started for me. I still have hundreds of them, if not thousands of them to this day, but the red lines, that's where I got my start. I got the fever. And 1985, I decided, hey, I'm gonna start selling cars. That's what I want to do. So I went to work for Tyson Buick in 1985 in Fort Worth. So 36 years in this business.
Wow.
About half and half. Half on the inside running stores, and the other half on the vendor side. You get it, right, Jason?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's funny that you say Hot Wheels because I kind of got my start in Hot Wheels as well.
No way.
Yeah, one of my very first businesses. I was 15 years old, and I loved going to the drag strip. Like love going to the drag strip. And so I started a little business called Jason's Pit Stop.
I love it.
And
it's catchy.
Yeah, and what I did is I set up a table with a tent and a big Hot Wheels track. And I would sell Hot Wheels to all of the kids at the drag strip. And
That's great.
if you've ever gone to these drag strips, these big shows, right?
Yeah.
They last for a whole weekend, and people will bring their RVs out.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's the event.
It's an event.
Yeah.
It's an event,
Yeah.
and it's a very family event. Like everyone brings their kids and stuff, but the kids get bored.
Yeah.
Right. So I found a way to not allow them to be bored.
Hot Wheels, baby.
So I sold Hot Wheels, and I sold them at like a 400% markup.
And
And I remember someone come over and going, can you really live with yourself for selling a Hot Wheel for a few bucks when I go buy them at the store for 50 cents? And I said, well, look, with every Hot Wheel gets you 15 minutes on the track and I'll watch your kid. Here's $20.
Yeah. That's great. But hey, listen, those red lines to this day from back then, I don't care. The wheels all jacked in, the paint all faded. Some of them are worth hundreds and hundreds.
They are worth some big
Do you have any of
bucks.
those, Jason?
I do not. In fact,
Yeah.
I sold all.
Yeah, I don't either.
I sold all.
I don't either. I wish I did.
Well, we got some topics we're going to discuss today.
Okay.
And then we'd kick off our first topic around marketing. And, it's a cool topic, but it's so broad, right?
It is.
And, I know you got a FixedOPS background, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to maybe kind of jam a little bit about, some FixedOPS marketing.
Yeah.
Because it's the department that will produce the most amount of profitability,
Indeed.
but get this much of the budget.
That's it. Why is that? Don't really know. So that's why FixedOPS was created. Almost 2 years ago, we decided, well, what is the next big thing out there? So, you look at websites today, Variable's got all the juice, right?
Yeah.
But the money's made in FixedOPS, yet there's nothing on the website, hardly anything, static image or nothing there at all, no specials at this time because it's something that needs to be managed. Well, the stuff we created does it. No usernames, no passwords. And we don't want to drive more oil change traffic. 75% of the dealership's traffic is that already. So what are we doing, Russell? What are you doing? We're helping create additional lines per RO by educating the consumer with video content. So all of our coupons have embedded videos.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I like that.
Yeah,
I
good
like
stuff.
That. So that's a cool strategy. Now, for a lot of people though, video is scary. Like I'm being honest, they don't want to hit that red little button
No.
and get started.
No.
So how do you help the dealership create content?
Okay, so first of all, we have our own content. They don't
Okay.
really get involved. It
Okay.
is automated. So one of the things I talk to dealers about, Jason, and I always want to know, here's what it is, right? They're bombarded all day long, variable and fixed, vendors. What is it? What does it do? And what's in it for me? That's what they really want. So if you solve the fundamental challenge that all of them have, I don't care if you're fixed or variable, in this case we're talking about fixed, is you don't have to spend any time managing it. I'm in, I'll listen. What you got, show it to me. So you understand, everybody's watching video content, right?
Yep.
Who's going to read a 3 or 5 minute, dissertation on oil change and the difference between conventional, semi-synthetic, and full synthetic, and why they're pricing disparities? Well, they're not, but they'll watch a 35-second video.
Oh, for sure. No one's going to read that article.
Yeah.
The search engine will, but you're good.
Well, there's some, Jason. There are some out there, okay? But no, that's what we do. And the placement on the website, we make sure it's under the specials, which is the second most visited content page, right? It's where all 4 of the dealerships' profit centers are located. So we want to have an impact on the variable side of things, because let's face it, COVID changed everything.
Oh, 100%.
Right? So not only that, okay, Russell, you have this aesthetically, we're delivering the right content, the right message at the right time. Here's the thing. We want to make it easy for the customer to convert the way they want to convert, okay?
Yes.
They can text, they can email, they can print, they can get directions, they can make a phone call, they can fill out a form. All of this inside of the coupon while they're there. You don't want them clicking, right?
Yep.
After 3 clicks, boom, exponentially. So that's a little bit about what we do.
That is super cool. I would say, you're 100% right, though. I mean, a lot of things have changed right now, right? So I'm curious, if you were to pick your top 3 marketing strategies, for just for the current environment,
okay,
what would be those top 3?
Well, one, whether you use my company or not, your exposure or customers finding what they're looking for on your website is important. So let's talk about the top level nav on a website, right?
Okay.
If there's more than 7 items in the drop down when you hover your mouse over it, you cause a lot of anxiety. So I'd say clean that up. Get rid of some of that content. Make it clean and easy, right? So less is more, not more. The second thing would be get involved in like email marketing. You look at the defection rate after 3 years in fixed operations, it's extremely high. There's a lot of things, we don't have time to go into all of them, but email marketing, which is another thing that we actually do, I think you should send one to your inactive customers once a month.
Yeah.
About 1% convert, come back into the dealership. And listen, you don't have to offer some $19.95 oil change. You don't have to do that. It could be a regular price, right?
Sure.
It's all about value and perception, right? Yep. And then another email to your active customers. Those are just a couple of things that I would recommend.
Well, I love the fact that you're segmenting that out, and if anybody's watching or listening right now, that's a really, really important note. I find too often on both the variable and the fixed side,
right,
that when we started putting out like an email campaign out there or something like that, we use this really stupid word, mass email, and it's just like, let me just grab all 10,000 people from my database and hit them up with the exact same message, and that's just...
Yeah, let me think about that for a minute.
Well, it makes me feel special.
Yeah, okay, got it.
It makes me
feel,
I hear you. But that is true, though. I mean, look, with email marketing, and my company does a lot of email marketing, the more personalized we can make it to that person.
Absolutely.
All right? So, I love the fact, look, haven't seen you in 12 months, but even for the people that are due for service, I would even push people to even split those out into a few groups. Like
Absolutely.
If you got someone who services with you on a regular basis, you don't need to offer them a discount, but offer them some like an added value. Maybe a discount off of a detail package they wouldn't normally take.
Jason, I think most people, at least on the service side, as long as you're not bombarding them, they're not going to opt out.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't mind getting them. Now, if you bombard them all the time, they're going to opt out.
Yes.
But segmented, yes, absolutely. I guess the other thing is this: Toyota, I guess for the last year, they changed their strategy on CSI. Now it's 2 visits a year for retention in order to get that money. So I think a lot of manufacturers are starting to move to that model because they what is it? 12.32 years is the vehicles on the road today, right? So people think that recommended maintenance is a dirty word, or they have to explain themselves. So would you rather follow the guidelines of thousands of Nissan Maximas coming in every day being serviced, or do you not want to do that and wait for the major repair that cost you the moon?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. All right, so what would be number 3?
I had a brain fart.
We got 2 good ones out there. I love the navigation one. I wouldn't even think of that one, but you're 100% right, though. It's just sometimes it's just too much. Too much clutter, too much to look at,
I mean, think about it. We're all shoppers.
Yeah.
Everybody's online. It needs to be aesthetically pleasing. It needs to draw them in. It needs to be sticky. There needs to be...
Nobody likes too much.
No.
The other day, my wife sent me out to go get some black beans. I get there are 8 different kinds of black beans. Why?
Oh.
Why, Russell? Why do we have 8 different kinds of black beans?
Well, I'm sure there are some reasons, right?
I'm sure there is,
yeah,
too. I just no idea what.
But no, it's great. I can't think of what the third thing is. Like I said, I'll figure it out here in just a second. But
let's go a little farther into the website,
okay,
since we're kind of on that topic,
okay,
right? Because, the one thing that I have noticed over the last, 18, 20 months, 24 months is as a dealer body, I think we are spending a lot more time or attention to that online experience. There's still a lot of dealers that need to get there, but I've seen a lot more, and that excites me. So what have you kind of seen, kind of some of the big changes you've noticed around dealer websites recently?
Here's one of the biggest things I've seen. Okay, I remember a few years ago, because I had another company previous to this, and we used to do websites. We got out of the business, the margins were too low, and the maintenance and the headaches were extremely high, right? Yeah. It's like there'd be a turnover in the management team, and then, you got to go, this is the website company, they got it all. Nobody's got it figured out. No one person. So dealers, I think, have slowed down on that, because here's what they realize. Nobody's got it figured out 100%. Yeah. So websites, this is stolen material here, I guess. But websites are like a dog, Jason. Okay? You can't just put it up. They got to be fed. They got to be played with. They have to be watered. They have to go in for shots. They need to be bathed. They need all these things in order to have a healthy, maintained animal. Websites are the same way, aren't they?
Yeah. They totally are. No, I think, for me, a website is that, it's the first experience. It's the first impression.
It is.
That I get. And that first impression then starts to generate the experience that I'm going to perceive of that dealership. And, I think too often we don't spend enough time trying to decide what perception we would like them to see. Instead, we just kind of let it organically happen.
True. I think that dealers are starting to, it's rarer today than ever. Dealerships have slowed down on switching website vendors.
Yeah.
They're getting more involved. The second thing is this. If you have to shut 3 or 4 pop-ups down before you can even start. Geez. Oh, come on. It's drain damage.
I won't work with a client if they want to do pop-ups.
No. It's just, it's sensory. People don't like it. They get it everywhere they go. So yes, you want to, less is more. You want to, it's the first interface that a customer has with how your dealership is represented. Yep. Almost like a receptionist when she answers the phone or he answers the phone, right? Got to be politically correct here. This is the first experience they have. You keep on hold for 4 minutes and bounce them to the wrong place. It's horrible. If you have 5 or 6 pop-ups and then you finally get to the page you want to go to, oh my God, Jason, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's just, dealers are figuring it out though.
So if you were to, sit down with a dealer and say, hey, Russ, give me some ideas. Like, I understand, that my website's like a dog. I need to work on it. I need to feed it. I need to take it for walks. I need to train it. And I need to develop it to being a good dog, right? And so what would you say, 3 or 4 things that they can focus on or make changes to it now to just make a better experience?
Okay, one thing is the specials content page. Not me, heat mapping shows that it's the second most visited, clicked on page next to inventory, right? Yep. So let's don't have it on the far right-hand side because people read, top to bottom, left to right. Have it before new or pre-owned because that's going to be the number 1 clicked on, or right after new and pre-owned vehicles. So that would be one recommendation.
Yes.
2, let's make sure that all 4 of your profit centers are really there.
Yes.
And that there's content there for them. And that there's a way
they all have a fair share of the table.
Exactly. Yeah. And make it easy for them to engage and define what they're looking for. Now, most of the time under the specials content page, you don't have more than 4 or 5 things in the drop down.
Yes.
But it's the other tabs. You got parts and service, and you got new and used inventory. You have specials, and you have coupon specials for parts and service too. But come on, I see 15 or 20 things in there. It causes anxiety. Customers don't like it. This is what they've told us. You can do the research and find out. 7, maybe 8, no more. If you do, you're losing them.
I love that. Clean that up. That's a good one. What else would you throw out?
let's start marketing to your customers the right way. Segmented, just like what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think that's very, very important. We think that customers don't like to get it because we get bombarded with it all the time. If it's relevant content, and listen, everybody's got to service their vehicles. If it's true, the average life of a vehicle now on the road is 12.32 years. I don't know where the 3.2,
I know,
12 years.
That's
okay?
an interesting one.
Yeah, it is. I heard that though. Had to espouse that. But yeah, so people are keeping their vehicles longer. The chip thing. This is where all the money's made. Let's have a good showing.
Let's create a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, let's connection. More recently, I've been in some meetings with some big dealer groups where they are talking about quality over quantity of reach outs and conversations.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And as a marketing team, like, I love that. I'm like, hell yeah. So we don't have to email, text message, and ringless voicemail and send up smoke signals every 2.5 days. What?
But see, that's your forte. That's what you do. You educate. And now, if they're listening, they get it, right?
Yes.
It's just getting the dealer's attention.
That's what it is.
Because they're bombarded all the time.
That's what it is.
There's some really great tools out there. There's some really great talent out there to go along with the tools, but you can't sign up for everything. You can't do everything. You got to be selective, okay? But you need to. There's a lot of great technology, and it's evolving so fast. You owe it to yourself. I get it. Yeah, right. You got to pick and choose. But you need to not have contempt prior to investigation as much as possible, or you might miss the next big thing, because it's not happening every 4 or 5 years. It's happening every other month. There's something new, exciting, exhilarating coming out that you would want to be a part of. So let me say this. A mentor told me a long time ago, Russell, an opportunity is not an opportunity when everybody thinks it's an opportunity. They've already missed it. Because everybody knows it, right?
That's true. That's
so
true.
Let's be open to, this is what this whole thing,
I like that. That's actually a really good strategy. I see some of the most progressive dealerships that I've worked with have meetings that are literally dedicated to being proactive.
Yes.
So in this meeting, no conversation about anything that is currently going on or has already passed. The entire meeting is just dedicated, and I'm not talking like a 6-hour meeting. I'm talking about a 45-minute meeting.
Sure.
All right, but every manager has to bring something that they've either recently learned about, or it was an idea of theirs, or something that they've noticed that they can be more proactive about.
Those are the dealers I want to be associated with. Those are the dealers you want to be associated
100%.
with. 100%. That's where it's all about.
100%.
So yeah, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You can't go where you want to go remaining where you're at, right?
Absolutely.
And we heard this old adage, everybody's heard it, the definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Exactly.
Okay, well, something's got to change. Something's got to change, or you're going to keep getting the same thing. So just like us, we deal with a lot of people. If I see what somebody's done for the last 30 days, I can almost predict human behavior, what the next 30 days is going to look like, except for really a few things. At least this is my experience in making changes in my life. Who I associate with, what I read, and what I listen to.
That's
that input
true.
Creates new output.
So what are you reading or listening to right now, Russ?
A book called The 4 Agreements.
The 4 Agreements? Okay, I haven't heard that one.
Okay, it's a great, Don Miguel Ruiz wrote it. It's really profound stuff, but it all goes back to the book, the very first book my mentor told me to read. And he said, I want you to read this book. And he gave it to me. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. And he said, I want you to read for 15 minutes. And I said, I can do that, no problem. He said, no, listen to me. It's a little harder than you think. I don't want you to read 13. I don't want you to read 17. I want you to read 15 minutes and put it down. And if you do that, and we have some subsequent follow-up meetings, I promise you that within a year, your life will transform. I said, okay, I'm ready. Right? When the teacher's ready, the student will appear, whatever.
Yep.
Vice versa. I said, Dale Carnegie. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
That's a classic.
And then it was Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
And Think and Grow Rich and Og Mandino and all those books. This is similar to that, but it's understanding the psyche of speaking your words impeccably, which means without sin. It's about motivating and elevating and loving people where they're at and seeing the best in them And if they don't have anything to offer you, they're like branches on a bare tree. Au contraire, don't go there, right? Because the branches are bare. Love those people where they're at and move on down the road with people that have substance that are thinking like we think.
Yes.
We want to keep moving. We want to keep evolving.
Keep moving forward, keep learning, keep evolving.
But how do you do that?
Mindset. Well, it's a mindset.
It is. So think about this. It's going to sound kind of crazy, but right now you and I are sum total at this moment of everything we've ever seen, heard, read, and done.
Yes.
So the only way to get something new is we have to start right now today. Do it now, right? Input new information like you and I are exchanged right now. It's great. I love it. Thank you.
It is fun, right?
Yeah.
It is fun. Well, you know what? Talking about kind of, new and progressively always moving forward.
Yes.
Like the fixed ops side of the business is not typically well known for doing exactly that.
Nope.
But there are some big changes currently and on the horizon
Yes.
that I think that can impact the fixed ops department in a big way. I would love to kind of get your take on where do you kind of see the future of the fixed ops department heading?
It's almost going to be front and center stage. So instead of being an afterthought on the website where you can't find content, you're going to see much more of it playing into the recommended maintenance. You're going to see much more. Now, this isn't, I don't even know where it came from, but it sounds good. Okay, that by next year, which is a few months away, that over 80% of consumer consumption will be video based. So people want videos. Everybody's watching videos. I don't care if it's Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. It's all out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're going to see a big push for that because dealers just now are starting to figure out that that's where the money really is. The chip shortage has really helped. COVID has really helped.
Well, it has because it's forced us. Well, it's really interesting times. I mean, you think as an industry, for a lot of dealers, we've never made this much money.
That's right.
All right. So
with less vehicles.
So we have found a tremendous amount of profitability through efficiencies.
We have.
And that's the core of every good fixed ops department out there is efficiencies.
Right.
And now you start seeing that trickle in, but I actually still think there are even more efficiencies to be found.
There is. Here's one big one. You've probably already heard this. I hear a lot about it, but dealers got to get into the tire game. If you're thinking, oh, we don't make any money on tires, you're not thinking long game. You're not thinking long term. You're not going to make money because you got the discount tires out there. You got the national brands. But listen, they do hot shipments every day. They don't have everything in stock. But if you're not getting into that game, I don't know what the numbers are. I think it's pretty close. But 67% of people that you sell tires to are going to turn right around and buy another new or pre-owned vehicle from you. Okay? You got to get into the tire game. If you service everything else but you don't get the tires, this is where the defection happens because they think they can go to the Pep Boys and the Valvolines and the Christian Brothers and Firestone and Goodyear, right?
Yep.
Because for every single franchise dealer, for those maybe you don't know, there are actually, not mine, NADA numbers, that there's 16 non-franchise entities.
Yes.
You certainly
want to talk about competition?
Yeah.
You think the sales department's got competition?
Yeah.
That's competition.
Exactly. 16 of them out there, all around your dealership. It's like they know dealerships have been sleeping at the wheel. Not anymore, Jason.
Well, I'm excited for that because I got to be honest with you. The worst term that I hear around this time of year is tire season. It makes me just...
Why?
Why is it a season? There's no season.
No.
Tire sales happen all the time.
Yeah.
Now, this is real common where I am in Canada. Right?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
The white
right.
stuff.
You do the switch out stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like where it's like you get this tire season. So tires is never a conversation until right around right now,
Right.
October, right? And and the displays come out, and then they're up for a few months, and then the displays go away.
They're missing it, Jason.
Right. So let's dive a little more into that.
Okay.
What have you seen? You've probably seen some great best practices around tire sales. What are some great strategies?
Well, some of them, as soon as there's some really remarkable technology out there where as soon as you drive into the service drive, you drive up on this thing, it automatically checks the alignment and the tread wear and depth of your tires and sends an instant automated report to the service technician so they can consult and advise the customers about the wear and tear. Not necessarily to get the tires right then and there, but to let them know they need an alignment. This is a way to increase their lines per RO. They have alignment problem. Why get new tires if your tires are wearing like that? You got camber caster problems. You need to get alignment. Then let's talk about it. Maybe you got enough life. You do a rotate and balance or something like that. If they're not staggered, maybe you got enough life to make it until your next service interval. But then be prepared. You're going to need tires. And then you set up a schedule where they get something prior to the next service scheduled visit, talking about tires. The SKUs that you keep in stock, it's not a bloody fortune.
No.
You just keep a handful of SKUs of the most commonly used. If they want something beyond that or something, abnormal or something, you can get it in 24 to 48 hours, just like Discount Tire can, right?
Well, you can, and it's also a great place to really kind of, customize that message and that marketing message to it, because, no one wants to get an email blast of, your tire promotions. They want to know that, hey, we know that you're driving that 2011 Hyundai Sonata.
That's right.
Like you really can connect with them on tires.
Absolutely.
I know it sounds corny, but tires is the way to the consumer's heart.
It is. but advisors, it's changing. Okay.
So pay structures and everything else got to go along with it, right?
Huge paradigm shift. Yeah, absolutely.
There's one thing that always dumbfounds me, and I get frustrated. It's like, well, we want to get serious about the tire business, and then you're like, okay, well, cool. Let's take a look at your pay plan. Well, why?
Why?
What are we gonna look at my pay plan? Like,
wait, you just said you were serious about it, right?
Are we serious about that? So, I am totally surprised by how many sales departments do not pay commission to the salesperson for selling a set of tires.
That's a great point.
Right?
That's something to look at. Yeah, so no, we're serious about getting into the tire business, but you were last year and the year before, so what happened?
That's right.
Okay, definition of insanity, right?
That's exactly it. Hey, Russell, I know we're getting towards the end of our podcast,
great.
And this has been a lot of fun. But for anybody out there that's watching and listening right now, and would love to learn. That's what I'm trying to say. Would love to learn, more about yourself and the company, and maybe even continue this conversation.
Sure.
What's the best way to connect with you?
Russell, 2 S, 2 L's at FixedOPSmarketing.com, or you can call me on my cell, 903-819-5253. Check us out. We got a lot of great content on our website, just FixedOPSmarketing.com. Or email Russell at FixedOPSmarketing.com.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Russell, thank you so much,
Jason,
man.
appreciate
this has
you,
been
brother.
A lot of fun.
Good to see you, sir.